Hey gang, Royd Free Senior back. Today I want to talk about Andreas Colling. I've always been a fan of this guy. A, because I thought he was not uh, roided out to the gills, let's say. He may have used them, but I don't think he did much. And I think he had one of those physiques that was attainable even for a natural bodybuilder. Could be wrong about that, but he just wasn't one of these mass monsters. A very good physique, and still, he's now 72. Still has a good physique. Competed in masters competitions in his 60s and was just in phenomenal shape. Maybe better shape than he had ever been in his life, and I'll show you the pictures. Anyway, there's an article from September of '83 about his back training, and that was one of his better areas. And there's a Q&A. It was written by Gary Bartlett, and I'm just going to go over the Q&A, maybe not word for word, but at least roughly. So Barry starts with, what is your present back routine, sets, reps, etc.? He says, I like to train my back with a variety of movements to hit the muscles from all angles. Usually employ more exercises because the back has a greater number of muscles than, say, the arms. Also, the back is one of the largest areas of the body, requires a lot of work for complete development. Following are the exercises I currently use. Reverse grip chins, shoulder width grip lat pull downs, Corbin Gentry rowing machine or one arm dumbbell rowing with one arm and knee on a bench, and then wide grip lat pull downs to the chest, lat pull downs behind the neck, hyperextensions and shrugs for the traps. Each movement usually done for 2 to 3 sets with 8 to 10 reps, with moderate weights depending on what I am trying to accomplish. Next question is, I noticed that in your last contest your back was extremely ripped, and how did you accomplish this in your training? Thank you. While getting ripped before a contest, I will increase my training tempo, working back so that I can only rest 15 to 30 seconds between exercises and sets. Sometimes you can do 3 exercises in a row without stopping in a tri-set, which will really cause a burning sensation and bring out the ultimate in cuts. How important do you think lower back training is? I feel that lower back training is extremely important, as it not only gives you a strong back foundation, but also is an impressive part of any back pose during competition. It adds that extra look to an already impressive pose. A fully developed lower back certainly enhances a well-developed upper back during any back pose on stage. And also keep in mind, a well-trained lower back will protect you from many common injuries in training, and many champions' careers has been cut short by a painful back injury. So always try and train it, not only for show, but for strength as well. So Barry asks, how do you presently train your lower back, and what exercises do you feel are the best? My present lower back training consists of weighted and unweighted hyperextensions, which I feel is probably the best lower back exercise there is. Not only builds muscle, but is also very healthy for the spine and surrounding region. And now the key question, have you ever injured your lower back? Yes, I have had a problem with this area while doing deadlifts a couple years ago, and I was off for training for several weeks, and for the first few days I could hardly move. Ever since then, I have had lower back pain from doing squats and Roman chair rope crunches. Because of my own experience, I have developed a routine for my back that causes less stress by eliminating certain movements that are especially dangerous to a sensitive low back. I have excluded deadlifts, regular rowing, and T-bar rowing from the program. I now concentrate on pull-down movements instead, and my back development has not suffered in any way. As a matter of fact, I made considerable progress with this present system. So next question is, how would you train your back if you wanted to take the stress off an injured lower back? Well, that was just kind of answered in my previous question. One thing you should try and do is build up the injured lower back area, which will prevent injuries in the future. However, chances are if you have injured it severely, then you may never be able to handle heavy poundages in certain exercises. As you get older, the results of injuries will haunt you even more. If you are attempting to train after an injured lower back, then you should get plenty of rest, then start out very slowly with hyperextensions. Next question is, what is the best lat exercise for width? Well, there are several good ones for width: one-arm dumbbell rows, lat machine pull-downs, and wide grip chins. So the next question is, could you outline a good routine for someone who has a narrow back and would like to broaden it? For someone with a narrow back wishing to widen it, I would recommend that they do pulling movements with a grip with your knuckles facing out from the sides of your body, such as when you are the grip that you use in a dumbbell rowing and a lat machine pull down. In the pull down, a regular grip should be used with a bar that ends in a T on each side. To widen the lats, a stretch is necessary in each exercise, so really pull them out. A good back widening routine is as follows: one arm dumbbell rowing, 3 sets of 8, chins wide grip front, 4 sets of 10, lat pull downs behind the neck, 4 sets of 8. Really feel the stretch and do the exercise strict, concentrating on flexing the lats fully. What sort of rep schedule do you feel is best for back gains? I feel that the best rep schedule for your back is a combination of higher and lower reps with various resistance, and also altering the pace with which the various sets are executed. Have you done a lot of chins in your back training? Yes, I have always used chins in my back workouts, and this time I'm doing reverse shoulder width grip chins with or without a weighted belt, depending on what I want that particular workout day. I feel that all variations of chins are excellent, and they are one of the basic movements in bodybuilding. Have you ever employed pullovers for back development, or do you use them for a chest exercise? From time to time, I have employed the Nautilus pullover machine for my back training, and I definitely feel this movement has a beneficial shaping effect on the lats. Andreas, we know that the back area is an impressive muscle when fully developed. However, it's hard to get the type of back that wins championships. Do you have any last tips you might like to pass on to our readers? He responds, the back is a complex and large muscle group which should be worked from many angles for best results. Use various grips during your back training. For pulling movements, try varying your hands by the palms facing downward, inward, upward. This little grip variation will result in the back being worked in slightly different areas. Also, try to keep your grip from narrow to shoulder and wide. When doing pull downs behind the neck, try to simulate a double back pose as the bar is being pulled down behind the neck. In the down position, contract fully so that every muscle on the back is contracted. This little trick will give you much better control over the many back muscles in a contest when you display your back poses. The pull down behind the neck exercise also works the inner back muscles, and when you simulate a double bicep pose while doing this movement, you will find this exercise much more effective. Good luck. And that's the end of the article. Again, I think just Andreas's longevity would point to the fact that he wasn't a huge steroid guy, and he's still in good shape to this day at 72, unlike many of his contemporaries. Was in a lot of contests, never was in like Mr. Olympia or anything like that, but just like I say, has been in just tremendous condition for most of his life, and I believe he still is. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm out.